What is going on, guys? Gene here, and here for you today, round 2 of the Rebirth of Glory spoilers. This is recorded on June the 18th, so it's only cards reveal up to whatever time I'm recording this. So let's get straight into it. First we have, I'm trying to do these a little bit quicker, so bear with me. First we have Dryad of the Grove, 5 mana 4/4, Bronze, Forestcraft Follower, Fanfare, put 2 fairies into your hand, and Clash, give the enemy follower -2 by so. This is Dryad, but as a 5-drop, it's not gonna see play in rotation. This one, Mecha Claw Elf, Forestcraft Machina, 3 mana 3/3 Bronze, Fanfare. If another Machina card was played this turn, gain Storm. So if you play this on turn 3 with like the Bagworm, the one that reduces the cost of a Machina in your hand by 1, you get a 3 mana 3/3 with Storm on turn 3, and a 1 mana 1/1, which is pretty good. I see this card. It's gonna make Aggro Force most likely a thing. Frog has returned. Veteran, Vagabond Frog, Swordcraft Officer, 3 mana 2/3 Bronze. Fanfare, gain Ambush until the end of your opponent's turn, and Enhance 6, gain +2/+2. And while it's evolved, it has the effect of at the end of your turn gain Ambush. So we get the return of Frog. Woohoo! I see sometimes Frog being played in Unlimited, so since we have Frog back in rotation, but it's not a 4-drop, it's not a 3-drop. It seems pretty stupid. Autoblade Patroller, 3 mana 2/2 gold, Swordcraft Machina Follower. Fanfare, if you have at least 2 other Machina cards in your hand, gain +2/+2, and evolve. If another Machina follower is in play, destroy an enemy follower. This card seems insane, because if you have 2 Machina followers in your hand, it's a 3 mana 4/4, and evolve. If you have no Machina follower play, destroy an enemy follower. And it gains full evolve stats. This card just seems insane, and it'll probably make Machina Swordcraft up a tier, maybe. Yeah, just up a tier. Next we have the Zeus card. Zeus the Supreme, neutral, legendary, 10 mana 5/5. Fanfare, randomly activate one of the following effects X times. X equals the number of allied followers evolved during this match. So now we have a 10-drop for the evolve archetype. You can either restore 5 defense to your leader, gain +3/+0, and the ability to ignore enemies' followers' ward, +2/+1 in Storm, +1/+2 in Bane, and +0/+3 in Ward. So this is a very good top end curve, but I really only think it's like if you get like one of the triggers was for Storm and one for ignore ward, but it's very random. It helps you a lot getting back in the game, because restoring 5 defense to your leader, and if it procs twice, it's 10 health. That's a lot. For the evolved decks, your top end curve is already Odin, which you have to evolve 6 times to get out of your deck on turn 10 for free anyway. So if you evolve 6 times before turn 10, you get the Odin out on turn 10 exactly, and then you play Zeus. It just seems like very nutty. So yeah, this card will most likely see play in those decks if 10 drop is worth the risk. Next we have 4 mana 3/4 gold Machina Follower for Portalcraft, Aerial Craft. So funny. Fanfare, enhance 7, gain +1/+1 in Storm, and has the strike mechanic. Subtract 1 from the cost of all Machina followers in your hand. So when it attacks, I think it'll just attack. No, that's Clash. No, yeah, if it just attacks, you subtract the 1 cost from all Machina cards in your hand. So it's basically like I think his name was Gawain, the 4 mana 3/4 Swordcraft that reduces the commanders in your hand. Yeah, it's basically the same thing, but for all Machina cards. It may make Machina Portal a thing, because this card seems pretty good. The Enhanced 7 is also a nice way to end the game, because it would be 7 mana 4/5 with Storm, which is still pretty good as a way just to close it out. Pinion Lake, Havencraft, 2 mana Bronze Amulet. Countdown 3. If you have more cards in your hand than your opponent, subtract 1 from the countdown of this card. And so it'll be 2 mana with a countdown 2. But last words, you summon an Adamantium Bird. And if I remember correctly, Adamantium Bird is the 3/5, I'm assuming. And it has, what was it? It has Rush. Yeah. So that's pretty good for a 2-drop. Last time we had this was like the Gemstone Amulet that gave you the 3/5 turtle. So this card just seems pretty good, and that card was already played, so this card would just see just as much play. Since 3/5 with Rush is much better than just a 3/5 body. Next we have Meta Division, 1 mana silver spell for Portalcraft. Put a Radiant Artifact into your deck, and at the end of your turn, draw a card. Radiant Artifact is, I think, the 2/3 with Ward, if I'm not mistaken. And so this is basically like meta. I think it was Meta Production, the one that put a Analyzing Artifact into your deck. So that card was played mainly because it helped you get into Resonance much easier. It's a 1 mana spell and just basically just draws you a card. So yeah, pretty good. Next we have 7 mana 5/5 silver follower Helix Mushusu. Accelerate 4, summon 2 Basilisk. Last word, summon 2 Basilisk. The only way I can see this being played is for the Accelerate 4, because 7 mana 5/5 is pretty huge, and the Basilisks I think are the 1/1s with Death Touch with Bane. So yeah, not much to say about Mushusu. Next we have Erasmus, Master Summoner, 6 mana 4/6 legendary Runecraft follower. At the end of your turn, deal 4 damage to random enemy follower, and at the end of your turn, perform Earthright, deal 4 damage to enemy leader. Again, you're mainly going to be using this for the 4 damage to enemy follower, because it's basically like 6 mana 4/6 destroy random enemy follower at the end of your turn, which is already pretty good. Since you could evolve it, trade into the more favorable card, so you could ensure that the 4 damage will deal to a minion you want to kill. The Earthright is nice, but I don't think we have enough cards. Well, we do. We have the Orichalcum Golem to make a burn rune again. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Next we have Disintegration, Runecraft, 5 mana silver spell. Banish enemy follower. If you have 20 cards or less in your deck, recover 4 play points. I think this might be seeing play in the Spell Boost rune. Mainly because you're going to go through your deck a lot, like very fast, and then this card just banish enemy followers and not trigger last words. It's pretty good. And since if you have 20 cards or less, it's just a 1 mana spell. Helps you Spell Boost a lot. And next we have Apollo, 2 mana 1/2 neutral silver follower. Invocation, at the end of your turn, if you have 2 play points and no cards in play and your opponent has at least 1 card in play, put this card from your deck into play. Fanfare, enhance 9, gain +7/+7 award. Take 2 card. two conditional for the invocation. Next we have Melvi, Princess Witch, 1 mana 1/1 gold Runecraft follower. Whenever you play a follower, gain +1/+0/+1. But when you evolve it, it's whenever you play a follower, gain +0/+2. But whenever you play a spell, gain +2/+0. I think this card fits right into whatever Spell Boost is doing, because this card could just basically be a win con. Because if you just play a 1 mana 1/1, and if your opponent doesn't really want to answer a 1 mana 1/1, because usually all the removal is for bigger stuff, or if they just want to trade into 1/1, because you usually want to save your evo points for when it matters. And if they do let it survive, you just evolve it, and then you just start comboing off with like 0 mana Fate's Hands. What else is there? Fiery Embrace, and all that type of stuff. And then this card just gets very big, and then you just swing. It might be some sort of Miracle style deck that this card goes into. It might make a new Miracle style deck happen. I would love to see what Melvi does for a Runecraft. Next we have Golden Bell, 1 mana gold amulet for Havencraft. Countdown 3. Fanfare, restore 1 defense to your leader. Last words, draw 2 cards. So basically, they power creeps Sacred Plea. Because if I remember correctly, Sacred Plea is the same thing, except it doesn't give you 1 defense to your leader. Whatever. Now we have 6 Sacred Plea in Unlimited. Next we have Heroic Fairy Champion, 4 mana 2/2 bronze Forestcraft follower, has ward. Fanfare, next time damage is dealt to this follower, reduce that damage to 0, and enhance 8, gain +3/+3. It's a fine card. That's all. Next we have Runecraft, bronze follower, 8 mana 2/2 Twin Blade Mage. Storm, Fanfare, deal 2 damage to enemy follower, and has Spell Boost, subtract 1 from the cost of this card. This card might see play, because along with Zeal of Truth, it's another card that you could spell boost to get Hannah Storm just to close out the game. I don't know if the added effect of dealing 2 damage to enemy follower is worth it or not. Zeal of Truth is very, very big for its stats for just 1 more mana, so we'll see what it could do when the set comes in. Next we have Guard of the Machina Tree. Forestcraft Machina Follower, 2 mana, 2/2 gold. Has Ward and Fanfare. Return another allied follower or amulet to your hand. If that card is a Machina card, draw a card. So it's a 2 mana, 2/2 with Ward and has Nature's Guidance. If it was a Machina card, so pretty good. Especially with the new 8 mana 6/6 with Ambush from the mini expansion, seems pretty good. Since we don't have much ways to bounce cards in our hand, to my knowledge. Next we have Harvest Season, 3 mana bronze spell, Forestcraft, draw 2 cards, and then if at least 2 cards were played this turn, draw 3 instead. Am I wrong, or is this a reprint? I don't remember. It feels like one. Next we have Prison of Pain, Bloodcraft Silver Amulet, 3 mana, countdown 2, Fanfare, deal 1 damage to your leader and draw a card. End of your turn, deal 1 damage to your leader and draw a card. This seems like the old 3 mana gold amulet that we had that dealt 6 to us, and then we draw a card every turn. It seems like the same thing. So it's pretty good. Especially since some Bloodcraft decks needed more ways to draw. But the only Bloodcraft deck we have at the moment is Machina Blood. And I think Hand Buff Blood will start making a reoccurrence, especially since DFB will get rotated out. Next we have Nephilio, Dour Demon, Bloodcraft, 3 mana, 3/3, Fanfare and N7, gain +4/+4 on Ward, and can't be a target of enemy spells and effects. Yeah, an aggro or hand buff blood. Next we have Robo Mammoth, Portalcraft, Machina Follower, 6 mana, 5/6, Fanfare. If you have Resonance, gain Rush, and as Fanfare and Hand Sign, gain +3/+3. Just a fine bronze card. Gadget Mermaid, Dragoncraft, Machina Follower, 2 mana, 2/1 bronze. There's an allied Machina Follower in play, gain Storm. Very good with Byron. Helps you go a little bit more aggressive, especially since they needed more aggressive tools. Next we have Invasion of Nature, 4 mana, silver spell for Forestcraft. Destroy an enemy follower amulet, and then you put a fairy into your hand. So now that effect has basically been power crept, since there's no conditions to make it cheaper or anything like that. It's just 4 mana, destroy an enemy follower amulet. You know, with the usual, we get for 5 mana. Next we have Mercenary Guildhouse. It's a neutral 2 mana bronze amulet. Countdown 3. At the end of your turn, give a random allied follower +1/+0. And at the end of your turn, give a random allied follower with no card text Ward. It's nice that you're giving support to this kind of archetype with the no card text, but I still don't think you'll see that much play. Next we have Cowie. He came back. Cowie, Heir of the Underworld. Shadowcraft, 3 mana, 3/3 gold follower. Fanfare and Hand 6 gain the ability to evolve for 0 evolution points, and when he evolves, he stays the same stats, 3/3, but has Storm, has Ward, and has Leader Strike, which is the first time we hear about this different type of keyword. Is basically whenever it attacks the enemy leader, it triggers the effect, and in this case, he reanimates for 4, which is pretty insane because there's a lot of good 4 drops like Orthrus, the dog, the 4 mana 4/4. Or is a 4 mana 4/3? Doesn't matter. It's still a very good effect just for having 3 mana 3. But it makes you want to go. It makes forces you to go face instead of trading. That's basically it. But it's still a nice that you can evolve for itself for free. Next we have Mech Arm Demon, Bloodcraft, Machina Follower, 4 mana 3/3. Fanfare, put an Assembly Droid into your hand and evolve. You put a Repair Mode into your hand and you recover 2 play points. This card seems very good in Machina Blood, especially since Slain wants you to have a lot more cards in your hand and a lot of them to be Machinas. So and this card just random and just puts 2 Machina cards into your hand, and if you evolve it, it's basically a 2 mana 3/3 that did all that. So it's pretty good. Next we have Robo Snake Trainer, 2 mana 1/3, Bloodcraft, Machina Follower. Each time an allied serpent comes into play, it becomes a Machina follower, and when you evolve, gains full stats, and you summon 2 serpents. Seems decent enough. Next we have Orca Strike, 2 mana, bronze spell for Dragoncraft. Another deal 3 damage to enemy follower effect. Last time you put 2 Megalorcas in your hand if Overflow is active for you. Megalorcas are the 2 mana 2/2 vanillas. Seems pretty good. Next we have Soul Stream, Shadowcraft, gold spell, 7 mana. Give your leader the following effect: at the end of this turn, summon zombies until your area is full. And then Enhance 9, randomly put Shadowcraft followers with different names from your deck into play until your area is full, then destroy those followers. I have no idea what you could probably use the Enhance 9 for at the moment. There's probably is a way to abuse the Enhance 9, just bring out a lot of like very strong last words and build your deck around those 5 only, like when we played Nephthys back in rotation. We'll see. It might be used in Unlimited more because there's a lot better cards you get for the Enhance 9. Next we have Melilla, Fairy Killer, 3 mana 2/2. Forestcraft, Silver Follower, Rush. Whenever a fairy comes into play, destroy it. And whenever an allied fairy is destroyed, you gain +1/+1, it gains +1/+1 and deals 1 damage to enemy leader. Very aggressive card. Makes use of all the fairies that you have in your hand. Pretty good. Remember, these are tokens. And yes, we finally have Alwida as a card. 7 mana 5/5. Legendary Swordcraft follower. Alwida, Pirate Queen. She's a commander. Accelerate 4, you randomly summon 2 of the following: a privateer pirate, an artillery personnel, or an assault seaman. And on each of your turns, summon a pirate and a Viking at the first time you play a loot card. Pirate and Viking are the old cards from Alwida's command. The 2/3 is Ward and the 3/2 is Storm, which is pretty strong just for playing a loot card, and it's only once per turn effect. So what are the tokens she summons? Privateer Pirate is a 2 mana 1/3 with Drain, and last words you put a Gilded Goblin into your hand, which is the gain 2 life or restore 2 health to anything. Artillery Personnel is a 2 mana 2/1 with Rush, and last words you put the Gilded Boots into your hand, which is the one that gives follower Rush. And Assault Seaman is a 2 mana 2/1 with Follower Strike. When it's attacked an enemy follower, deal 1 damage to a follower before it can deal any damage in return. And last word, to put a Gilded Blade into your hand, which is also pretty nice. The only one I don't think it gives you is the necklace, to my knowledge. Yeah, because there's no way to get the necklace off her. But still, it seems pretty good. But I hate that on turn 7, this card basically does nothing. So basically, technically they just gave us another 8-drop. That also gives us 2 decent bodies. That gives us a lot of value on turn 4. Next we have King's Welcome, Swordcraft, Silver Spell, 1 mana. You put a random commander from your deck into your hand, and if you can evolve and have more evolution points than your opponent, subtract 1 from that card's cost. So yeah. So if it rewards you for holding out on your evolution points, and you can potentially have the new Albert for 4 mana, or you can have Alwida for 6. Pretty good. And finally, we have Electro Kitty, Runecraft, 2 mana 2/2, Bronze Follower, Fanfare. If you have 20 cards or less in your deck, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So they're really pushing the 20 cards less in deck archetype in Rune, and I'm all for it. Something new in Rune that's not Mysteria, Spell Boost, or Daria. Yeah, anything that's different, I like to see. So yeah, that's it for the cards revealed as of right now. If there's any cards that you liked from the reveal today, any cards you want to see later in the future, any cards you're hoping that gets printed in a new light, like Erasmus did, Albert did, and heck, we even got Alwida, however you pronounce her. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and Gene out.